What's up, guys? Georgia Boys here. Back here with another video. Let's see. Marcus isn't here. I'm at work right now. Kind of sucks. A little rainy day. It's supposed to be baseball practices today, baseball, softball, and whatnot. So I'm kind of at work all alone. I'm getting paid to do nothing, and I kind of took it upon myself to act like I was getting paid for doing homework. So I did some schoolwork at work, and just because I'm really bored. But today's video, I kind of want to save Marcus the trouble just because he really hates this dip, and this dip is Copenhagen Wintergreen. Now, I'm a big fan of this dip. If I didn't constantly get heartburn after taking constant dips of the same dip at the same time, like, I would do this every day. I honestly would, and honestly, I think Marcus would too if he wouldn't have had it ruined for him when he tried Longhorn Wintergreen a couple years ago when our buddy Joey found a can of his dad's and gave it to Marcus because he just didn't have any. But yeah, so let's get on to it. Pack a lid with me. Let's get at it. Packability is really nice. I mean, it's just Copenhagen packability. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, my personal preference is Copenhagen. Stoker's it's pretty good as well. And then I think on the bottom of my list, I want to try Stoker's Wintergreen, but I've only had their mint, and we're spitting in a Coke bottle because I can't bring my mud jug to work. Fucking gay. But yeah, packability on it is great. I mean, those of you who dip Copenhagen know what I'm talking about. Nothing's ever changed. I have y'all sitting up against my laptop right now. I have nothing else to rest you guys on. But yeah. Flavor, great. I mean, lastability, great. I mean, I've had this dip in for hour and a half at a time, and as I said in our first video, I spit a lot. Depending on where I put my dip, I spit a lot. And like right now, I'm just trying to get the floaters out of the way, and there's not very many floaters with this as well. I didn't pack it that great. That's the thing. But yeah, flavor's great, lastability great. But yeah, I honestly wish the warning labels would just go away. This, in my opinion, is the best warning label. Smokeless tobacco is addictive. Why? Because it doesn't have like, oh, this product can cause gum cancer. Whatever. I mean, this product is not a safe alternative to cigarettes. Hell yeah, it is. Wreck the gums, not the lungs. But yeah, I wanted to save Marcus the trouble of doing this video with me just because he just doesn't like wintergreens in general, and it makes him. It's kind of funny. I mean, he can make it through wintergreen dip, but it's not one of his favorites, and I know he's been wanting to do one, and I was like, I'll take it out of the way, and I was like, you know what, today's the day to do it. I am gonna wait on him to do this. We finally found it in Georgia, and definitely a great dip. we'll have this video up soon. So best looking can in my opinion as well. But yeah, wintergreen, like I said, I would do it every day. It's a great dip. Gives I mean, those of you starting out dipping, and I actually did this for my buddy who wanted to start dipping and then just kind of fell off of it. But I got him a can of Copenhagen pouches, wintergreen pouches, and he enjoyed them. But they still pack as much as a buzz as a regular dip does, but I don't like the Copenhagen pouches. They're just too loose for me. I prefer the Grizzly pouches. And you won't hear me talk much about Grizzly except for their mint and straight. Those are the only two dips that I thoroughly enjoy of theirs. Their wintergreen to me just tastes like plastic. Like, I'll tell y'all a story. We went hunting. Me and my dad went hunting one time, and I was asleep in the truck while he was driving down there and whatnot, and we pull up. He's like, "Here, I got this for you," while you were asleep, and he pulled out a can of Grizzly Wintergreen, and I was like, "Are you serious?" He was like, "What?" I was like, "You know I don't like Grizzly Wintergreen." He was like, "Yeah, I know. I just know that this will actually keep you awake." So I was like, "Yeah, I guess I can't disagree with you there." But I will say though, if you guys are trying to stay awake on a dip, I mainly go to Copenhagen because it just gives me that little bit of a tingle in the lip, and it just feels, I mean, it just gives you a little kick of energy, which is kind of nice at night when you're trying to stay up for work, or, I go bow fishing a lot, so, and if you guys haven't ever done that, you guys should definitely go out and do that, where you guys have a lake at, if there's carp there, you guys need to go try it, because it's the best damn thing you'll ever do. I mean, like, heartburn, I mean, staying up all night and shooting carp. Minus my dad, he, it's so funny. Another story was we were bow fishing one time with my ex-girlfriend's uncle and my youth pastor, and my dad saw what looked like a carp, and just shot straight down into the water, and he ended up getting it and pulled it out, and it was a hybrid bass, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, this thing was pretty deep too, about 6 feet down, and he just barely got it with the arrow, but he actually got the underside of the fish, so it was like, and it was bad too because I was on cleaning duty the next day when we went home. And I was like, oh, I gotta clean this, and all the guts and stuff are hanging out. And so it was pretty bad. He also got another fish that same night. It was a carp, and he got the belly of the fish again, and it was bleeding a whole lot more the next day when we put it in the tank of the boat. It was covered in blood. We had the carp that we had gotten that, were still swimming around after we had gotten them and whatnot. That was also the night I got my first fish bow hunting. I had been bow hunting 3 times before that. I had never been able to hit a fish, and I finally figured out how to do it that night. And mainly because my ex-girlfriend's uncle was kind of pissing me off, because at the time we were still dating, and or me and my ex-girlfriend were still dating, and he was just bugging me about it and whatnot, and I was getting really pissed off, and that night he also pushed me in the water, and the water wasn't feeling too hot either. I actually, once I got out of the water, I had actually just put my sweatpants and whatnot on to make it through the night, stay warm and whatnot. And he pushed me into the water because I got pissed at him and started yelling at him and whatnot. And so he ended up pushing me in the water, and I had my sweatpants, I had my long sleeves and whatnot on, and I ended up getting really mad at him for that because I ate a face full of mud. Because, you know, when you're boat fishing, you're right along the bank of the lake or pond that you're in. And I ended up eating mud, and I got out of the water and into the boat, and I was like, man, I'm about to get back in the water. So I got back in the water, and then we didn't even use the trolling motor for the rest of the night because I was like, you know what, it's not even going to be worth trying to dry off. So for like 2 straight hours, I was just pushing the boat along the bank and whatnot, and whenever it got steep, I was just like, all right, or whenever I started feeling rocks as well, I just kind of hopped along the boat, and I was like, all right, Kurt, just turn on the trolling motor and we'll go. Then once we hit a more shallow spot, I got out and pushed the boat again, which I mean, it really wasn't bad, but you know, when you got 3, well, I guess it was 2, because yeah, no, 3. When you got 3 big guys, not too big, but when you got 2 or 3 big guys in the boat, it tends to get a little tiresome. But yeah, back to the wintergreen. Yeah, I mean, the flavor, I love it. Like I said, it gives you that nice tingle in the lip. When you're starting out dipping this, it's gonna give you a burn. You know, a lot of first-time dippers, you know, they want to try this because it's, I mean, it's all over the place and everybody's dipping on it. And I mean, it's once you get used to the burn, it just turns into a tingle, and that's not a. And don't worry, like if you stop dipping this for a while, like when I got done with that whole tub of Stoker's mint, I got back on the wintergreen, and I was like, holy crap, this is giving me a huge buzz and a big burn. So sometimes you just gotta make it through it, and eventually you'll start getting rid of that full-on burn that you get out of it. And I actually had to quit dipping on wintergreen a couple months ago because it gave me such a bad burn one time that actually this gum right here started peeling off, and I had to let that heal up and whatnot, and I actually just started going left side. And other than that, you know, not very many floaters. I mean, overall, great dip. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Like I said, we'll do this later. I know you guys are going to want to see that, so stay tuned for that one, because me and Marcus are definitely excited for it. And we're just happy it's finally out nationwide, so go ahead and get you guys a log of Copenhagen mint, because it's selling out everywhere. I mean, the first day my friend went and actually left school to go get it and went up, drove about an hour to go get it, and found 3 stores that had it, and then the first store he went to, they were sold out in 4 minutes. A whole box. And then I actually went the second day, it was out, and I asked for it, and the guy and this is the guy that usually sells to me anyways, but the guy that was in front of me was like, hey, you guys got Copenhagen mint? And the guy started reaching for the shelf, and he was like, actually, do you guys have like a whole box that I can have? And the guy paid like $100 and some odd bucks for a whole box of Copenhagen mint. And it was crazy. I was like, can I get one of those? And I went up to the counter, and the guy at the counter was like, "Yeah, we just sold out." I was like, "Are you telling me?" So that guy just bought every single one that y'all just had, and he was like, "Yep." And then so I went outside and I was like, "Can I just buy one of those off you real quick?" And the guy got in his truck and just left. He looked at me like I was some weird ass motherfucker. But yeah, but we finally got it. Marcus was actually the one who got it for me, and he actually got a whole log of it. And he he actually woke up really early. I guess it was Thursday morning. It was a Thursday morning, something like that. And took his buddy, and they got it like at like 6:30 in the morning. So um, he he was definitely excited, and I thought he was lying at first because it looked like he sent me a fake picture, and I was like, no way. So then he drove to my house after school that day and dropped 2 cans off, and then we're gonna split the third one. So yeah, big shout out to Marcus for that one. But other than that, guys, Copenhagen Wintergreen, first time dippers, just be prepared for the burn. Other than that, great dip. But yeah, that's about all we got for today. I gotta get back to work. I gotta go drive over to the other fields and check how everyone's doing over there. So I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Georgia boys out.